Submission means she's the voice of God to you. What she says is God in Daystar. This is the voice of God in Daystar. Wait a minute, Jonathan. She's the voice of God.
Stay away from Daystar, Jimmy Evans, and Joni Lamb. And once you take a look at this video, you will have questions and you will be alarmed. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Trista and welcome to my channel. On this channel, what I love to do is share a biblical perspective over society's lies. And today, I honestly was not going to talk about this, but I really wanted to just share a little bit more in depth on my thoughts and just some of the things that has been going on with Daystar. And I'm only talking about it because I shared it actually on X, and it has literally blown up on X. That what you are about to hear is very alarming, it's disturbing, and this is an example of what Jesus was talking about: wolves coming into the church, creating chaos, and that's exactly what is happening here. There's a couple of things that has been going on, if you don't know, and if you didn't really pay attention, I get it, because like I said, I wasn't going to talk about it because it's very messy, and I didn't want to get into it only because of the fact of just how messy it is, and just there is SA with children, and when it comes to different things like that, I don't want to continue and bring more attention to it. But the only reason why I'm even talking about it is because of the audio that you're about to hear. And this is from Julie Royce. If you have not heard of her, I've mentioned her before on my channel, but I'm going to leave the audio that I got it from in the link in the description box below. But definitely check out her video, and she goes more into detail about it. But I wanted to talk about it because of the Black church. Now, this type of rhetoric that you're about to hear is very common in the evangelical, charismatic Black church, and is very popular. And if you go against the grain inside of these Black churches, you're almost like the black sheep, and you are not part of the cliques. You are definitely on your own. And so listen to this audio, and then we'll get back to it. And I'll talk more about what I mean by some of the things I have mentioned. Check this out.
Submission means she's the voice of God to you. What she says is God in Daystar. This is the voice of God in Daystar. Wait a minute, Jonathan. She's the voice of God in Daystar. No. She is God's voice to you here on this property and related to Daystar Network. She is God's voice. You submit to her with a right spirit. You submit. You have to submit. Either you submit or you don't.
We'll leave if you don't submit to me. I will submit to me. You'll submit to my authority. That's all. I don't want to hear anything else. Yes, Mom, I'll submit to you.
Whatever she says, moving forward.
Okay, so you heard that first recording, and everything about that is just so wrong. Forcing someone to submit and telling them that they are the voice of God to you is very evil, manipulative, and very abusive. And these are the type of teachings that is happening in the church, and it needs to stop. That is why I am here to let you know to stay away from these type of teachings. If you hear anyone saying this to you, 1 Chronicles 16:22, do not touch my anointed ones, do my prophets no harm, has nothing to do with asking questions about some of the things that they are teaching, or if you have any type of concerns about anything. It has nothing to do with asking or having concerns with leadership. And the fact that Jonathan and Suzy Lamb is the one that is being very gracious, standing on the word of God and not allowing them to just bully them, this is what bullying looks like. This is exactly what it looks like. Forcing someone to sign anything, forcing someone to answer your question, or forcing someone to do something that they don't want to do is not good leadership, and it is evil and abusive. Okay, and this is just an example of what I am talking about. And the reason why I am even talking about this is because of what it says in Ephesians 5:11. Take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. In 1 Timothy 5:20, it says, but those elders who are sinning, you are to reprove before everyone, so that the others may take warning. Having these type of conversations and forcing someone to submit to you, and they are the ones that is the voice of God to you, have this higher than thou type of attitude and saying, I have been in ministry for over 30 something odd years, and you have to listen to me because I've been doing this. I have put my whole life into this. It's wrong. Saying those type of things is very manipulative, and it's not what a leader should do as someone who is a leader in this whole situation. And as I was listening to this and all the things that were coming out, I was literally asking myself, is this a church? Is Daystar a church, or is it a business? Because I thought it was a business, but in another recording, it was saying that it was a church. I was very confused on that whole aspect. But then again, I don't know how churches are even supposed to work, because some churches are operated business-like. And so I just don't get how any of this is even working out. And that is one of the things that is very messy and that I didn't want to get involved in, because of the fact that these type of questions, it can get messy. But listen to this next audio that just showcased Suzy and Jonathan's behavior, even against this evil, manipulative, abusive behavior against leadership. Check this out.
And so Daystar Network is going to go forward with her at the helm, and you're either with her or you're not. And when I say with her, I mean 100%. I'm not saying 99%. I'm not saying that you sit and don't talk about Doug or whatever. You've got to talk to Doug. You've got to talk about Doug. You've got to read whatever she wants you to read on the air. And if that's something you can't do, I respect you if you leave, but not if you stay. I want you to stay and submit. But if you can't, it's a simple decision. And she will fire you. I'm just telling you, she will.
I can't prepare for anything. I just have to be honest, and then the decision's in your hands.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah.
The ball's not in my court, it's in your court. It's in your court.
I just, like I said.
You submit to my authority or you don't.
Yeah, and like whatever I say to read, if I'm not comfortable, then I have to stick with my convictions.
Well, whatever you read, if you don't agree with the viewer's comment, it's not your right to agree or disagree with it. If a viewer has a comment about me or you or anybody else, it's a nice comment, that's a good thing to read it. That's not a bad thing. It doesn't have anything to do with you. You're reading a viewer comment.
I'm representing it. It's a lie.
You're not representing it.
I'm reading it out.
It's not a lie. It's not a lie.
It's a lie if I say something that I don't believe.
It has nothing to do with you.
If I say something, I don't believe it. I'm not going to just.
It has nothing to do with you. It is a viewer comment. It's not a Suzy comment. It's a viewer comment.
I can't go against my convictions in that, and I'm not challenging.
Don't come back then.
Okay.
You're gone.
Okay.
You're fired.
That's
If you can't read a nice comment about Doug, I don't want you here.
Yeah.
You won't do the green room. You won't do anything. Okay.
What about you, Jonathan?
I'm just going to seek the Lord and I'm going to pray. I love you and respect
There's got to
you.
be a heart change, and you see there's not.
Yeah.
No, I definitely.
I knew if there wasn't a heart change, then nothing would change. Until the heart changes.
Yeah. I think you guys have got yourself in a position to what you are going to down this hill. This is the hill you're going to down. I think that's the choice.
I just said I'm not saying I'm not or I'm yes or no. I'm just saying I'm just going to pray. You'll know if I read a comment or not. Like if I'm going to apply, if I'm going. If I come on and I say I'm not going to read the comment, you'll know my decision.
No, that's not what's going to happen. You're not getting back on the set until she knows that you're submitted. It's not a matter of you doing what you want to do when you want to do it. It's a matter of her knowing today that you're submitted to her and that you trust her and you're willing to do what she says. And she may give you longer than that. She may give you till tomorrow or whatever. But all I'm saying is, this is not a religious process of you going home and praying. This is a process, a very practical process of you telling your boss whether you're behind her or not, whether you'll submit to her or not. Now, you're spiritualizing all of this, and all of the scripture is behind her, not behind you. She's the authority. She's your mother. Either way. And so, in your next job, if you leave this job and you go to your next job, trust me, whatever boss you have, you're going to disagree with 18 times more than you ever have heard. And you're going to have to submit or they're going to fire you again. And so, in the real world, because you've lived in a bubble, Daystar is a bubble. It is a wonderful spiritual place to work, and you've lived in a bubble. In the real world, this crap doesn't fly. And you can't defy your boss and get away with it the way you have her. She's been incredibly gracious with you, but it's all over. And so as far as I'm concerned, no response today is the bad response. And I'm not saying that on her behalf, I'm saying on my behalf. If you can't submit today, it is a spirit, and it is going to continue. And it can't continue. It has to be over, Jonathan. Either you submit or you don't. Now, Suzy's saying no. Your wife is saying no.
I didn't say I would not submit. To me, submission is doing the job that is ministry and not having to fake a relationship
You're
with Doug.
telling the boss what your job is. You can't do that.
Faking a relationship with Doug is part of the Daystar job. That's not.
Reading a comment about Doug is part of the job.
I cannot go against my convictions.
No, you said no. I respect that. But then I look at you, Jonathan, and I say, what about you? Because your wife said no. And you're saying you want to pray about it. There's been a lot of prayer. There's been a lot of conversations. It's time to make a decision.
Well, we just had this meeting today, so I think it's fair to be able to give
No,
you
I
time
think
to
you
process
need to tell me now. You either submit or you don't. You either submit or you don't. I'm not playing the game any longer. I'm not letting you go home and pray about it and think about it. Suzy's made her decision. Now you make your decision.
I haven't had, you didn't give me
I'm not giving.
any foreknowledge of this meeting of, like I have to make a decision.
She doesn't have to. You always put the burden on her. The burden's on you. You're the employee. She's the employer. The burden's on you. And you have to make a decision.
So off the show or just off vice president, like he's losing his job? Like we have to clarify that.
Oh, submission is for all those things, Suzy.
I'm just
It's not
asking.
just for on the show.
You said you might have to take some time off the show before in the meeting, so I'm clarifying that for Jonathan.
I said there are consequences to this kind of rebellion. So I think been through that. So either you say, yes, Mom, I'm submitted to you. I may not agree with you on anything, but I'm submitted to you. Or you say you're not. It's one or the other.
Just give me 24 hours to pray about it. That's all I ask, kindly, so respectfully.
I'm not going to give you 24 hours. You give me an answer now. You either submitted to me or you're not.
I'm submitted to you in every aspect. The only aspect where there is some consternation in my spirit is having to read something that praises your marriage in front of our live, worldwide studio audience. That's the only thing. There's been nothing else that I've been difficult about. I've submitted you. I've been an incredible son. I've been an incredible employee. I haven't had any problems with you or leadership. It's just with this with this marriage, there's just been
First off, this is the viewer comment. So the fact that you're using that as the catalyst as to why you can't, do that really speaks to a much deeper issue in your heart. That's just an excuse, right?
That's right.
Well, the deeper issue is just feeling unwell in my spirit about the marriage. That's all it is.
Well, then
it's nothing against you.
You have made your opinion an idol because everyone else disagrees with you.
Who's everyone else?
Everyone else just.
Oh, you too, of course, yeah.
Well, there's a lot of others. But Jonathan, you
others.
continue to disrespect me in the sense that I've been doing this since before you were born. I have dozens and dozens of Doug stories that I could tell you, horrible situations that I've seen people come out of. And I'm saying, I know abuse when I see it. I know a situation like that. I am a marriage guy. I've given my entire life, adult life, to helping marriages. I'm not a divorce guy. I'm a marriage guy. I help people get married and stay married. The only time that I can shift over is when I know there's something that's damaging a person. So in my expertise, I talked to Doug a number of times. I talked to her and I told her, I'm not for Doug, I'm not against Doug. I just don't want you to get in any situation that God will bless. And so I started having conversations with Doug. Doug never badmouthed his wife to me.
So I'm just going to end this video by saying a few things. Like, this type of teaching and this type of rhetoric inside of the church needs to stop. This is the reason why people are deconstructing from their theology of teaching that they have learned in environments like this. The audio that you just heard from the Royals report and Joni Lamb and Jimmy Evans talking to Suzy and Jonathan Lamb. That type of rhetoric is not rare in the church. It is very much popular in the church, and just because of an elder in the church, if they are named elder inside of these churches, it's this attitude of you are supposed to listen to me no matter what I say and no matter what I do type of thing. And this is the reason why, again, people are sitting back and trying to understand, okay, where can I get actual good leadership? Where can I get good discipleship? Where can I get good theology and teaching from the Bible that gives actual good, teaching that I can live by? And you can see that during this political season. You can see that even now, the progressive movement now in Christianity. There are people that are left-leaning Christians, and then there are people that basically all different types of Christians out there. And a lot of people's attitude is, well, as long as they believe in Jesus and that's it. And it's like, it's more than that. There are actual people that love reading the Bible, that actually want to get to know Jesus and God. But you have rhetoric and leaders like Joni Lamb and Jimmy Evans that are teaching them false things when it comes to the Bible. And this is the type of thing that really just pisses me off, because you don't get a lot of discipleship in the church. Good discipleship, good theology, and good leadership inside of the church. You get a lot of business, you get a lot of people that's trying to get numbers in the church, and then you just get like, are you going to volunteer or not? And it's just so awful that no wonder it is such a big movement. Again, I just want to expose the darkness of these type of teachings and this type of leadership that's inside of the church. Encourage you to be on the lookout of these type of teachings and this type of attitude, because I just wanted to showcase that to you guys and help you guys to be aware, and definitely let you guys know and expose them and let them know, do not go to or listen to Daystar or Jimmy Evans. Stay away from that type of leadership, that type of rhetoric, and this type of environment and network and church. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. If you can relate to this, let me know in the comments below if this is something that you would like to see more of. Thank you guys so much for watching, and be blessed. Check out my next video.